The Greys. There is a large variety of intelligences that look like the common, what's referred to as Greys or Grey alien. I've had many interactions with various types, which wouldn't even be a percent of what I'm assuming would be really just, again, a percentage of what's out there in terms of beings that look like the Greys. I have seen variations in colours, sizes, abilities, some that blink, some that don't blink. Also, there is an aspect of these intelligences, a percentage within that 1% that I'm aware of. And again, I'm here assuming that I've had interactions. But there's an aspect of this with programmed life forms, biological droids, uh, intelligences that have been created, they're synthetic, but there's also an aspect with this where there are greys that are intelligent. They are beings. Now, in my experiences, the ones that were first on the scene for me were able to put up a mask, and that mask, in this case, was the singer of Nirvana, Kurt Cobain. That's what I'd wake up to in my room until after a visit or two. Again, it's many years ago. I'm nearly 42 now. This is going back to the ages between 8 and 12. Of what occurred was I'd see Kurt Cobain and then a flicker and then one of these beings. So it'd be starting to just phase in and out of Kurt Cobain, a grey alien, Kurt Cobain, a grey alien. But what I was seeing wasn't grey. It had the features of a grey. What it was a being that was white. Between what I would describe as a texture like cigarette ash, if you dab it and you've got that grainy sort of texture. But also between that and what I would say is like elephant skin. Now, many, many years later, what was revealed to me was that these beings aren't even extraterrestrial. They aren't even physical intelligences. They are light beings. And it was revealed to me that they are the Guardians. And I've been saying this for about a decade. Now, that doesn't stop the issue of there being physical intelligences, trans-dimensional intelligences that can appear physically or they look like that even in a trans-dimensional state. In my case, with this specific species, as I'm saying, they're actually white light beings. They can be white light orbs or wispy orbs. And I get visits from them quite regularly. Now, I've seen brown ones and variations of brown. I've seen blue ones, orange ones, green ones, just over the years. And part of this is coming down to the aspect of being psychic and not knowing that you're psychic. It doesn't mean that I know everything and I read everyone. It's something that I actually don't do is read everyone. It's just, I don't do psychic spying and things like that, though I teach remote viewing. But there's a lot of different types of beings that I've come across that have the grey-like appearance. So when we hear or talk about the greys, it really comes down to which ones. Because where it gets very convoluted, and I wrote about this in a book around 2012, 13, give or take, the book Operation Starseed, where it was revealed to me through the Elohim, which this faction were blue light beings that overlaid me with what I describe as a crystal cave, like a quartz crystal that had no openings and it was pulsating in and out of it. And there's been a few visitations in this cave with them to where, in one case, it overlapped my lounge room to where half my lounge room became this crystal cave and the other half was sort of like it was transparent, like an apparition over the lounge room. What's been revealed is that through solar events and through manipulation, through a cabal that is being controlled, and really the cabal's foot soldiers for a demonic, archonic, as well as reptilian force. and through genetic manipulation and going underground with some of the population, they would turn into eventually what we see is the grey intelligence. And there's many reasons for this as well. And part of I believe the transhuman agenda is part of this as well. Now, what I was showing was other intelligences, humans, Earth humans like you and I on the surface, because of who they were intentionally and within their being, they had the opportunity to go to Orion and the Pleiades as well as elsewhere. Now, I believe all are worthy for ascension. I'm not sure of all the circumstances, but what was revealed to me long later in my experiences was that even though that happened, it doesn't happen. And it may have even been at the time they alluded to this and I wasn't understanding things at that time because I wasn't coming at things from a multidimensional mind. You've got to remember, I'm having experiences daily. And there are a lot of people like me that are. And to catalogue and remember everything in a linear method is quite impossible. It's like if I asked you if you knew what day and time you were doing this or this or this or that, whatever it is. So understand that if you know my material that I've been writing, and 13 books now over many years, it's actually more than that, but 13 that are up, it's a lot to go into. But my point with this is that, yes, some of them are time-traveling humans that transformed and mutated, we could say, over time into the grey being. Some are already, that's just what they look like. And they're physical. Some are non-physical or have trans-dimensional capabilities where they can become physical. And I'm sure they're from a lot of other places besides Zeta Reticuli as well, which I had it relayed to me that some of them are actually coming from there, which was us in the future, but that there was also us in the future that appear as greys that were having situations of trying to rectify them turning into greys, time traveling. This goes into very much a temporal situation and a temporal war, the subtitle for Operation Starseed, but that they had outposts in a lot of different places.